and welcome back to Pi TV. Well, today we have students Ashley Dudiniak, Harry O'Byrne, and AJ Greco to talk about Project Bemis. Hi guys.
Hi. Hello.
How you doing?
So, Ashley, when did you start working on the Bemis material testing project?
We began with Bemis by writing our paper and research. We began that in December of 2011. So this has been going on since our junior year. And then we actually began our testing in May of 2012 after we put all of our bags in their environments and we took tests down at Bemis.
That's pretty cool. Hey, Harry, can you describe the overall project goals of the project?
Well, one of the things we are doing, we're testing the effectiveness of this D2W additive, which actually causes the plastic bags to break down. We're testing that in a myriad of different environments to see if it performs better, say, above ground than it does in water. In addition, it gives us some lab experience for those of us who may want to go and do research in, say, at the undergraduate or even the graduate level.
Okay. What are some steps you took to begin this project?
To start this project, we all researched and we looked up the additive that was being put into the bags, and we made sure we knew everything about that. We made sure we knew everything about the history of plastic bags. We made sure we had every angle covered, so we knew every possible output or input into the project.
That's nice. And what were your roles in the group?
Every one of us had different environments that we were assigned to. I myself was assigned to the underground or the underwater and the saltwater and the freshwater environments. And to do those environments, we took basins of salt water that would represent the ocean and freshwater and stored the bags in the water in the greenhouse. Every time we went to Bemis, I had to go and collect the bags, take pictures of what was going on. Actually, the water environments are what's stimulating the bags to break down most as of right now. They're actually breaking apart in little pieces, all floating on top of the water. So then we would have to go to Bemis and test each environment. I would have to record the data and make sure that all the values were accurate so that we could get graphs of what we did for the next group that's going to take on the project.
That's pretty cool. What were your role?
Well, as far as the bags are concerned, my partner Willie Lingenfelter and I watched over the storage, which is essentially our control group. You know, they're exposed to no external stimuli such as the weather or water, anything like that, as well as the bags in the hot box environment, which they're in, well, it's a hot box, you know.
Yeah.
It's kept at 140 degrees Fahrenheit to simulate more of the desert region, if you will. For the testing, I would run the coefficient of friction test, or the COF test, in which you just overlap part of the bag, have it clamped down, put a weight on it, while the other clamp is attached to a pulley that pulls, and whatever reading you get is the COF. Also, one of my functions I find, which is sine qua non to our group here, is to boost group morale. I find, you know, we come in early in the morning and we just have to, you know, liven the spirits, and I tend to do that with a little humor. Yes.
Okay. And finally, AJ, right?
Yes, I was in charge of the outdoor bags with my partner Jeff Fendrick, both underground and above ground. That entailed us going outside and digging a huge pit, burying all the bags, and whenever we needed a test, we would need to redig them back up and bring them to Bemis. When we got to Bemis, I was in charge of the tear tester, and it would judge how much force was required to tear a little strip of bag in half, and it shows how much the bag's breaking down by the amount of resistance it takes.
Okay, well, thank you very much. But before we go to commercial break, could you tell us your humor stuff?
Oh, usually it's just observational humor. I actually have a joke about the Higgs boson that was discovered not too long ago. All right. Higgs boson walks into a church, and the priest goes, "Oh, it was very interesting to see you here." And the Higgs boson goes, "Well, you couldn't have Mass without me."
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Did you miss us? I bet you did. Well, now we have students William Lingenfelter, Amanda Gordonier, and Jeff Fendrick. Hi, guys.
Hi. Hello.
So Jeff, what was the most challenging part of BEMIS, of the material testing project?
Well, you see, the early mornings and the long nights really tired us out. But seriously, the hardest part was collecting the bags for the days that we would go to BEMIS to test them, and then the amount of time it took to do the quality control tests.
Okay. William, what are some of the results you're seeing from the project?
We have 3 groups of bags. One is from 2011 with the additive that we're testing, and then we have 2 from this year, which one has the additive and one doesn't. And from the strain from 2011 with the additive, in the water environments, we're starting to see them break down. They're almost completely disintegrating, so we really can't test it. But that means the additive is working.
Okay. Amanda, what is it like doing this project in the BEMIS plant?
Well, I think it's kind of an awesome experience for us as high school students to get to go to an actual plant that operates in real life, and it kind of just gets us something to do out of the classroom.
Oh, yeah. What is something you guys gained or acknowledged from this?
I mean, like I said, it kind of gives us real world experience that we can apply the things that we learn in school to something that is actually a career that we could pursue.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Well, I think that it's going to be very beneficial for our colleges. When they're looking at us, they'll see how good this looks, that it's a real world experience.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh my God! Look at all those plastic bags in the school! That's disgusting. Gotta do something about this. Alpha Team, go, go, go! Let's do it. Get it! Go, go! Alpha Team, go! Taking out the trash!
Mary Vic Perez here, and welcome back to Pi TV. We're here talking about Project SAGE. We have 2 students here one from Valley, her name is Natalie Reba, and one from Hazelton Elementary Middle School. His name is Brian Harry. Hi guys. All right, so how long have you been in Project SAGE?
For the past year.
Year? You too?
Yep.
Okay, what kinds of projects have you guys been doing within the program?
Well, I went to a landfill and we went to BEMIS, the plastic bag making company.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What about you?
In my school, we made posters and we put them up around the school, and all the students at our school were able to bring in plastic bags.
Oh,
and
that's pretty
eventually
cool.
we're going to get a bench that's made out of them.
Oh, out of the plastic bags? Awesome. How have you changed? How has it changed you? What have you benefit from Project SAGE?
Well, we learned about different types of careers, whether you go to college or not, and we learned about teamwork and how a community can come together and just with the plastic bags.
Okay. We also have the middle school gifted teacher. Hello.
Hi.
How does Project SAGE benefit the community? How does it benefit the students too?
I think there are several ways it benefits the community, and definitely a lot of ways it benefits the students. For one thing, we're making citizens who are more aware environmentally. Last year when the kids did their plastic bag collection, they actually collected 28,000 shopping bags in 1 week. Okay, that's a lot of bags, and it just showed how much could be kept out of the landfills if we recycled more. Okay, so we're making more environmentally aware students. At the same time, I think we're making better educated members of our workforce. When they come out of Project Sage, they have some hands-on experience, but more than that, they learn through their visits to Bemis and some other ways about the importance of education and what kind of classes you need to get into these careers. They also pick up some of the soft skills, such as communication, cooperation with each other, getting to work on time and showing up for work every day. That's something that's been emphasized by our business partner, Bemis.
Wow, so they learn about sort of life, you know, you have to
Yes.
be on time always. And all right, so what kinds of projects have you done within the past years?
We actually started Project Sage back in 2005, so we've had a lot of kids come through, and obviously they all do something different. We started out with by investigating biodegradable plastic, and the kids actually experimented on this. We had to compost it. So we had to compost the plastic and put it in dirt with worms and feed the worms every so often and see what happened with the plastic. What we found out, unfortunately, was biodegradable plastic did not biodegrade too well. But over the years, we've done quite a few other projects. We've gone on quite a few field trips. One of them was to Penn State, where a woman came in and taught us about making plastic. As a matter of fact, if you look at that yellow mushroom over there,
The mushroom.
that's plastic that our students made by mixing chemicals together. Just
Okay.
put it in the cup and whoop, made a mushroom.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys, and keep on doing a great job with the Project Sage. Wait, don't touch your remote. We'll be right back.
Imagine barely being able to eat or talk properly, to hold a job or attend school.
Imagine being abandoned by those who should love you unconditionally.
For those born in a developing country, this is a reality.
Fact. Each year, over 165,000 children are born with cleft lips or palate.
Most can't afford this simple yet life-changing surgery.
Every child deserves a chance to smile.
BCTV, in cooperation with Smile Train, is sponsoring a Smile Drive. Our goal is to raise $1 for every student district-wide.
If we succeed, we can change hundreds of children's lives.
For just $1, you can make a child smile.
For just $1, you can save a child's life.
So with your generous donation of just $1, you can make a difference.
And we're back. Did you miss us? I bet you did. So as I've said before, we're talking about Project Sage, and we actually have another student joining us. Her name is Samantha Zaremba from Valley as well. Hi.
Hello.
So could you tell us about your personal experience in Project Sage?
Well, through Project Sage, we've been to many places. Like we went to the landfill last year, and also to Bemis. And at the landfill, it was amazing. Like, it was astounding how much garbage in one day that they carry out through pipes. They carry out all the methane from the trash, and then they use that actually in a power plant right next door to fuel energy. So actually, garbage is fueling the energy for light and stuff.
Wow.
And that was really cool. And they actually planted trees on top of garbage, and it makes it look nicer, but also green. It kind of fits in with it.
Yeah, awesome. What about what have you really learned that you can use it in your life, like maybe later on in life,
Project Sage is all about helping the environment, making it cleaner and healthier for people to live, and that is a big part of what I've learned from this. I mean, there is so much that we just take for granted.
Oh, yeah.
That plastic bags, we did a plastic bag project. We collected, I think, 28,000 plastic bags in 1 week.
Wow.
And they could have all went to landfills.
Yeah.
And it's just, you have to make sure that you're not destroying the earth that we live on. So.
Wow, amazing. So what has Project Sage done?
We have, throughout the years, tried to do a lot of different things, dealing with not just the environment, but even history as well. For example, one time in our 2-year segment, we took the students first to the number 9 coal mine, which is a coal mine down in Summit Hill. It's not cleaned up like the one at Ashland. It's old, it's dirty, it's creaky, like water would drop on us, and it was a little scary actually. We were on carts. We saw a little bit of the history of the coal industry, which has a very important part of our history here in this area. And then we just went across the way a little bit, then close to hometown, where we went to a cogen factory, where we saw how they take coal now and they make slurries out of the coal. And so that's a part not only of the environment, but of history as well. Focusing just on the environment, though, we have done some other things just with that. We took 1 year a group of students to the chiropractor. It's called, I think, Life Expressions. It's a chiropractor, and the roof is actually all plants.
Wow.
And how the whole idea of keeping the roof and the green environment, that was a really neat project that we had for that. We also went to the Berwick Power Plant to see nuclear energy. But also at the Berwick Power Plant, they have a lowlands walk. And so I went on a walk learning all about some of the things that are native to Pennsylvania and how, as they watch these animals around the power plant, they make sure that the power plant and everything is working fine. No animals are in duress or anything, as we're so close to the power plant. And that was a neat experience for us.
Nice.
And then sometimes we bring in speakers. A few years ago, we had a whole segment on natural gas, and we actually used Skype, and we Skyped to school in Canton High School, actually, up where there's a lot of coal mine, or not coal mining, gas drilling going on. And we got the students to tell us their perspective of what was going on, and also the people who were in the actual gas company, their experience, and the teacher who actually had gas drills all around his property. So we heard all their perspectives on that. That was pretty neat. And then we had speakers come in as well. We had a speaker that time from the Department of Mining and Minerals to talk to the students as well. So we try to incorporate all of that in what we're doing. The last thing, and a really neat project, is this mushroom, which I know you're going to talk about in a minute. This was a project we took students to Penn State, and they learned how to put chemicals together, and then all of a sudden this is what the result was.
Okay,
So.
awesome, that's very cool. How do you join Project SAGE?
Well, Project SAGE right now is a collaboration of the high schools in the local area through the Gifted program. And those students, once they're in the Gifted program, are more than welcome to be part of the Project SAGE. No one's excluded at all. Again, what we're trying to do, we take a lot of things for granted in life, and we're trying to introduce to the young students coming up not only the environment itself, but how to interact, no matter what type of job you get later in life, how to work in teams. No one starts a particular job and finishes. That's rare today. So people have to work in teams. We see a lot of information that's given to the community, to the students. An example was a moment ago we talked about the yellow mushroom there. There's an organization, the Society of Plastic Industry. They have a laboratory that's in a van, and it literally travels around the United States. It takes a certain amount of funding dollars for it, and some of the local industry got together, donated some money. We were able to get the plastic van in. That's the laboratory they set up over at Penn State. We had the students that particular day go up to Penn State, and were able to do some hands-on experiments. Again, learning a little bit about chemistry, learning a little bit about the environment, and just having a lot of fun.
That's great. So could you tell us about the little mushroom?
Well, the students in the laboratory setting were able to mix some chemicals together to form, that happens to be a foam, two chemicals mixed together and instantly puffed up. So it was just an example to be used. Again, I mentioned earlier, we take a lot of things for granted. Everything in our environment is plastic, and unfortunately plastic doesn't have a good reputation for degrading. So there's many projects that students are learning about. Biodegradability was one. Looking at reuse, recycling, very important, so that those type of materials don't end up in the landfill, they don't end up in the ocean, but we're able to reuse them again.
Well, thank you very much, very helpful information. Make sure you join Project SAGE. We'll be right back, so don't move.
My dad's one of the producers.
we're back. We're here now with Bemis engineer Brent Tompkins and student advisor Christopher Pons. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
So, Mr. Tompkins, what is your job at the Bemis Corporation?
My job is process engineer over top of the extrusion department at this point, where I oversee all the processes from the resin, plastic coming into the plant, and the production to final film production.
Okay. Where does the testing material come from?
The testing material comes from our equipment, where we convert tiny plastic pellets into film at different widths, and then on our machine itself, it actually slits the plastic or cuts the plastic into specific roll widths for our customers.
Okay. What are the Bemis processes the student follow in the process?
The students follow the testing processes of, they check the opacity of the film, which is how white the film is. They'll check the coefficient of friction, which is, how well the film slides against one another, and that is for our customers. They also do a tear test, which is how easily the film tears, and I believe that's about it.
Okay. How do you think this experience is good for Bemis and for the students?
The students gain some real-world knowledge. They get to see what manufacturing is really like, what is really tested and important to not only us but our customers. So it kind of gets them thinking what manufacturing might be like, even though it may not be bags that they're going to go into or film. It kind of gets them the thought process of experimenting, testing, and just the skills needed.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Pons, how did this project actually start?
Well, originally it came about through a series of meetings with partners in education and some of the gifted teachers from Hazleton Area School District and from Weatherly area. And we were looking at a project. The middle school did a project similar to this, where a few years ago they had samples of bags and they took them to different environments to see if they would compost or to see how they would respond in the weather. Because I have the responsibility of the gifted students at the high school, I thought we could use the knowledge of the high school students at their junior year who have already taken chemistry and are starting to take physics or even the AP classes. We could use some of that knowledge and basically build a bigger project that has a little bit more, we say real-world experience, but it's true. This is how things that we use every day get built and constructed, and these are some of the problems that we face looking forward to the future with waste and biodegradability.
Yeah. And what is your role as the student advisor of this project?
I help the students. I kind of act as a liaison between the students and Mr. Tompkins and Mr. Cassis over at the Bemis plant. It's challenging to match up busy student schedules with the processes that happen over at Bemis. They have their own time concerns and we have our own time concerns, but we try to be very consistent about testing the bags every 3 weeks so that we have some good data.
Okay, and how do you see this actually benefiting the school?
For the school, this is a chance, an opportunity that I hope we can grow with not only this class who are now seniors. This is a long-term science project. This is something that you just can't have over the course of one semester or even an entire year. The scope for this is really 2 years. So we hope that the juniors now will be able to pick up where this class is leaving off and continue this work. And hopefully you can duplicate this at Bemis and maybe at other companies around the Hazleton area.
Okay, and what is the most enjoyable part of the project so far?
I think there's a lot of, in teaching we would call them eureka moments, when the students figure something out and it's their work and it's their labor that gets us to this point where, hey, we can actually see something happen. And that's a very exciting part of it.
Okay, thank you so much for all the interesting information.
You're welcome.
And, well, that's it for Pi TV. Make sure you stay tuned in for another exciting segment of Pi TV. Mary Vic Perez, signing off.